6 years ago, we had this kitchen installed, and with it, we got this, a slimline dishwasher. And today, it stopped working. And my wife asked, is there any way we could get a full-sized dishwasher? And the logical place to put a full-sized one would be here, which, as you can see, is currently a cabinet. This job isn't going to be straightforward though, because I know that there's a waste pipe that runs from the sink here down diagonally to that wall. And the integrated dishwasher that we've ordered is 550 millimeters deep, which means based on the measurements that we have here, that waste pipe is going to be in the way. So join me as I attempt some kitchen bashing. I need to remove the plinth first. Okay, looks like I was wrong. I'll need to remove the doors first. And then the plinth. I got the fixings removed that were holding the cabinet in place and then wound up the legs. At this point the left hand side was clearly loose, but the right wasn't. And I couldn't see any more fixings. I wondered if there was a bracket fixing it to the wall behind the back panel. But there wasn't. And then I thought I may as well just cut it free. This cupboard won't go to waste, by the way, more on that shortly. And this is where I found that there had been 2 screws installed behind the hinge plates on the cabinet next to it. I really should have thought of that. Oh well. Right, so it looks like I've got some copper pipes to contend with as well. I didn't know about those. Next I'll get the old broken dishwasher out. I'm going to try adjusting the cabinet that I'd removed to fit the space that the old dishwasher came out of. I also want to reuse these legs. The old dishwasher door can now be used as a door for the cabinet. I just need to mark up the hinge locations and drill out some 35mm holes centered 22mm in from the edge. Some minor adjustments and it's looking good. Now back to making space for the new dishwasher. Measuring from the waste pipe to the front of the cabinets, I've got 521mm. This over here is our new dishwasher and it measures 545mm, which means I need to create another 25mm of space at the back. If I measure from the floor to the underside of the draining board on the sink, I have 879mm. So I'm just going to adjust the feet on this to get it up to that height. There's only one leg at the back, and to adjust that, there's this screw on the front, which I can use to lift the back leg. And with that set, I can now measure the distance from the floor to the bottom of this recess here, and I've got 148 millimeters, which is good because the height of these copper pipes is around 140 millimeters, so I don't need to worry about those at least. So I've got two options here. Either I can try and chase out the wall and recess the waste pipe into the wall, or I can try and do a big drop on the pipe down here and then run the pipe low down. But it doesn't look like there's going to be enough space down there, and I'd also need to drill another hole through the exterior wall and block up the old hole. While I figure this one out, let me tell you about the sponsor of this video, Sailey. We just got back from Menorca, amazing hotel, lovely food, and not once did I have to hunt around for a Wi-Fi hotspot, go on a side quest to find a bent paperclip to open my SIM tray, or explain to a local shop owner that I needed mobile data with elaborate hand gestures. Sailey is an eSIM app, meaning you get access to mobile data in over 200 locations, instantly, straight from your phone. No physical SIM, no queue at the airport kiosk, no panicking when you realise that data roaming charges are about to upset your bank account. No contracts, no hidden fees, it's all digital, prepaid and easy. It also has built-in protection so that you can change your virtual location and browse safely. You just open the app, pick the country that you're travelling to, choose a data plan and you're online. Faster than it took me to find a sun cream that didn't smell of coconut and misery. You can get a 15% discount using my promo code RAGandBone, so travel smart and roam free with Sailey. The link's in the description. I decided to try the chase option. I can mark around the pipe with a marker so I know where to cut, and then I can drill some access holes to enable me to cut the pipe in the right place. There wasn't quite enough space to make the cut though, so I had to make it bigger. Then it's the same on the other side. This pipe clip is in the way and removing it is going to be tricky, but fortunately I found that I could just about get a wrench in there. And then I can start chasing out the wall using a carbide tipped blade in my multi-tool. I'm holding up a vacuum to help control the dust. Beneath the plaster, the blocks were relatively easy to cut through, but the mortar lines were really hard, and it was making the blades go blunt quite quickly. I got through 3 of them on this little job. The multi-tool is probably the most used tool in this entire video, and I couldn't be without one. I've got some of this stuff which is basically SBR, which I can apply to the cavity to seal it up so it's less dusty and in case there are any future leaks. Right, I'm glad that's done. It's all cleaned up now and looking okay. To complete the pipe work, I've bought 2 of these things. These are flexible 40mm waste pipe fittings. The good thing about these is that they're great in tight spaces because you can basically bend it to where you want it. The downside is they don't last as long as the regular PVC fittings, but I have a feeling I would have really struggled to get the regular PVC fittings in there. I've also bought some of these. These are couplings and I'll need these in order to attach the pipe. And I've bought some solvent cement. Before any of that though, I need to clean off the burrs from the pipes that I've cut. This was tricky to reach, but I did it as best I could, and then I can attach the compression fitting end of the flexible pipe. And it's beginning to look like this might actually work. The other side was much easier to fix in place, and I also managed to get that pipe clip secured again through that access hole, albeit with only 1 screw at the bottom, but that should be fine. Now I can trim the old pipe down, and I'm using some meths to clean it up before I apply the contact cement. It needs to be applied to both mating surfaces. I've got some of this metal strapping which I can use to hold the pipe in the cavity. After giving the pipe adhesive 20 minutes to set, I did a quick test to see if there were any leaks. And it all looked dry. That access hole that I cut earlier is going to be useful for bringing in the waste pipe and the supply pipe, and I can get all that plumbed in. Before I put the new dishwasher in, I'm just going to seal up the underside of the worktop with some foil tape, as there'll be lots of rising steam here. The dishwasher came supplied with these mounting brackets, and also a drilling guide for the cabinet front. I won't go into detail about this, but Andy at Gosforth Handyman has a great video about how to install these. I'll link to it in the description. Now to secure the door with screws, and this is where I needed to plug the old hinge holes so that the screws had something to bite into. Then some more adjustments to the hinges to get all my gaps nice and consistent. Finally, I need to adjust the plinth to secure to a different leg since the old cabinet it's secured to was removed. And I also ripped some material from the top of the plinth because it had a notch where the old dishwasher was, and rather than cut a new notch, I figured I may as well just rip down the whole length. Job done. Happy wife, happy life. Thanks for watching.